just bear with me. I suddenly had a problem here with my OBS. I'm hoping that this is still streaming. Let me just see. Hopefully we were not disconnected. It just gave me some messages that there was a problem with OBS connectivity. So if you have any problems, just ping me a message. Anyway, so the Eurogamer writer is speculating whether this would be seen as an ideal Christmas present for somebody. Well, I don't think so. I'd avoid giving that to somebody for Christmas, because instead of unwrapping the presents and enjoying their Christmas dinner, they may be just having, you know, the virtual reality of Alien on their head, and that itself may well be very, very scary. So let me just double check whether this is recording, because I need to be able to see that. Yeah, it is recording. Okay. Okay. And also have somebody else here who is trying to sell us something, so I don't think we are going to be very keen on this, I must admit. And bear with me a second, I need to deal with this. Bear with me a second. I don't know what's going on in here as to why this is not... Yeah, okay. Right, I do apologize to our friends and everyone who's watching. I had some bot attack there on Twitch chat, and I have had several of these recently, and I had a message from a mod saying that I need to have a look, and then the whole thing would not really be connecting in order to prevent further malicious attacks. I don't know why people are doing this. It's just ridiculous. It's an ordinary small streamer channel. We don't have any major revenue or anything in there, and it's just totally ridiculous for somebody to persistently be annoying us with their you know, algorithmic messages. And it says quite clearly that this channel is not endorsing people who are competitive gamers or who want to be doing follows for follows and whatever. Anyway, that was all about Alien Rogue Incursion, and then we have another one, which is Marvel Rivals, and so that reminded me very much of Overwatch. So the question for me was, well, is this going to be like Overwatch, or will there be any sort of difference introduced to the PvP matches? Looked very good on PS5, and they said that there will be closed beta coming our way. Not that they're not far away from us in July, so I'm really quite curious to see whether in July we are going to be trying this, and I'll try it. You know, I just always try alphas and betas offered to us on consoles. I want to support the developers and everything. I was not really grabbed by it, I must admit, not grabbed by Marvel Rivals. And then let me see, we have then Where Winds Meet, and I like that. That seemed very, very good. It's a trailer that was, I guess, giving us more questions than answers, but still, you know, going back to the Warriors earlier and the stories of the old Japan, again, it does have that element yet again. And so we've seen some introduction previously, and the trailer that we watched last night, it is giving us some ideas that this game will have lots of sword fights, and the trailer is giving you a selection of these, and you have some weird creatures that you need to be battling, such as very big fish, then kind of wooden bird robot, and some incredibly big weapons. So in some sense there was a similarity to Monster Hunter World, although the graphics in here are quite different, and I think the gameplay is also not as similar as you would perhaps imagine if you listen to me. But weird characters, and I mean weird creatures, and a lot of fights against monsters. So again, no date, but I think it was penciled for 2025. And so we are getting now a new PS5 version of Until Dawn, right? And Until Dawn is a very popular horror game, and it's very similar to what we had in The Quarry of late. And you have, the mystery cabin in the woods, so to speak, and a group of youngsters going in there to celebrate, and then getting attacked by some unknown force, and then getting eliminated one by one. A survival struck horror game, which is very brutal, but I have to say that the trailer was just giving us the same activity from the original game in a much greater, higher quality graphics, and anyone who likes Until Dawn, I'm sure you will enjoy revisiting and replaying on PlayStation 5, as the new version will be a lot more immersive, a lot more scary, and a lot more terrifying. And that's just why some people play some of these games, to get scared, and then to know that when you switch your lights on, it's just a story, it's just a game, and you're alive, safe and well, yet you mastered your fear. Similar to what you had with some horror films in the past. But in any case, what does happen here is there's a lot of criticism launched at Sony for presenting God of War and Until Dawn in their showcase, because these games have been around for quite some time, and this is not a new product. So lots of Sony fans will say, hang on, we've seen all this before, what's new? Have you not got any more titles? Are you austere on your budget or so? And they're also getting a bonus PC release, I think, for Until Dawn. So anyway, for anyone who's a fan of Cabin in the Woods, this is going to be definitely very much of interest to you. Well, the title that really grabbed me the most, and I'm sure everyone was hotly anticipating it, was Path of Exile 2. You will know that Path of Exile is one of the most popular games contesting Diablo, and very many people who play Diablo over the years also play this game. And the developer Grinding Gear Games, I should say, is giving us a very, very good presentation in there. So the trailer is about 2 minutes long, and then you get a small, brief, quick introduction to major classes in the game, and then magical spells that you are going to be using in order to destroy various nasty enemies. So I think the biggest difference with this one compared to the original game is that the console version, that means for PS5, will be giving you the opportunity to have also couch co-op to play with another person. And also, most importantly, it will have cross-play and cross-progression. And that's really good. That means that you can go from one platform to another and then basically play the game exactly where you left it off. And that's just the best, and that's the future. I think any developer that is applying that today to the gaming will be collecting huge dividends in the near future, and people like some of the other guys at Sony may well have a very difficult waking up at some point. It will also get an early access launch across all platforms. So obviously, if you are purchasing the game in advance, then you are... I'm just wondering, because the first game was free of charge, so I'm not sure whether you will be needing to pay for it. There was nothing said yesterday, so I'm not sure whether it's being offered as a pay-for game or just offered as a freebie. They're expecting the game to come out in late 2024. So, obviously, Path of Exile was very hotly anticipated. I think what we've seen definitely did not disappoint. So I was very, very happy with the trailer. And then another one, and that's probably one of the most hotly anticipated, the greatest expectation that I've seen brewing for some time, is about Silent Hill 2. And you will know that Bloober is the company, the Polish developer, that had been involved with this. They also worked on 2 other titles in recent years, and that's the Gears of War 4, and the other one was Medium, that I played and completed on Xbox. And Medium is an excellent game. It really is definitely for anyone who had grown up on the old Silent Hill series. Definitely highly recommended, and very, very how to put it, it's scary, but it's providing you a story in a very different environment. It takes place in I can't remember now, but it's a communist Poland, or just after the communism collapsed, and the lead character is exploring the buildings and the environment where her father worked, and then she's uncovering secrets. But what's interesting about the game is you have 2 different realities that you're entering. So, you know, like well, it's like 2 different sides of a character, and these 2 different realities can be accessed through certain walls and sections of the game. It's a very interesting style for which you are soaking up a story, learning about the lead character and the father's background, and meeting all kinds of challenges, but really very similar to Silent Hill 2, in fact, the environment itself and the way the game was played. So it was no surprise to me to see that. I'm a huge fan of Silent Hill series, the guys that run the company. I watched a couple of vidocs that the developer produced prior to the release of Medium, and they were just like a horror game fans, you know, grew up on the games like Silent Hill, and they obviously were throwing their bids in order to get the title, which is what they eventually acquired. And I thought that the trailer I watched yesterday was interesting. I can't say that I was grabbed in a big way or disappointed. It just seemed adequate for what you wanted to see of the title, and they've not really... The trailer doesn't look next gen, I have to admit, but obviously there are state-of-the-art graphics, and the environment and the atmosphere of the original game have been well captured in the trailer. But this may be disappointing to some of the viewers. Some people may want next gen, they may want the game to look and feel like it's been made today, and the retro aura was definitely present in the trailer. So the game's finished, and it's coming out on October the 8th of 2024, so it's not really very, very far away from us, and this is supposed to be a full remake. So, you know, let's wait and see. They will have Konami's own Silent Hill Transmission Showcase, in which we'll get to know more about the title, but I thought the trailer was alright, and I look forward to the title. And then probably one of the best highlights of this short presentation of Sony's yesterday for me was Monster Hunter Wilds, and I love the series. It's a wonderful, wonderful game, and if you've not played it, you must. And you know, go to PlayStation and subscribe to PS Plus. I think the titles are still on the streaming platform. The Monster Hunter 1 was on the Game Pass as well, but they've taken it down. I'm not sure whether the sequel is still there, but I played both of them and loved the games, and such lovable characters. You know, you walk around and meet all these chums, and it's so funny, and there are lots of fights, and it's just a feel-good game, you know. And what we've seen in this one, it is expanding on the group of participants, and you have different maps and different areas which you need to explore. Some very, very frightening, very big bosses and monsters that are attacking you, and I guess you will have different types of weapons and different types of loadouts which you will have to be crafting and making in order to use on those enemies. But the trailer was giving us a very, very good taste of what is to follow, and I think this one certainly delivered the most compared to everything else that we've seen yesterday. For me, that was 10 out of 10, really. What I expected I was getting, and therefore it made me even more excited about the release. So, well, we need to see whether we are going to have any other showcase events, but it's not coming our way very soon. So it's expected in 2025. And then to basically polish it all off, they presented us with the end trailer. And this was the one I mentioned already earlier, Astrobot, right? So that trailer was also excellent. And anyone who liked Super Lucky or the games of that sort, or even anyone who liked the original, you would just simply love the trailer and you look forward to the title once released. So it's part 3D platformer, part on-rails space shooter, and also part of a big celebration of anything that PlayStation ever did. And it's so funny because it starts out with the controller, It's like a controller becomes your spacecraft and you jump on it and you travel around with it, and then you get that big PlayStation arising, and I can't remember it's flying or exploding or what, and it's just like a really dazzling world combining the tools to use in order to access gaming and then the invented world in there with very lovable characters. So you have that big giant looking like a SpongeBob, and that seems to be on Twitter a very big favorite of everyone's. So that looks very delightful, looks very entertaining, and everyone is very excited about Astrobot, coming out on September the 6th, so that's not too far away before we get it. So really, my resume at the end, if we were to be considering what has been said and given to us through the presentation, would tell you that overall we have a few titles that we can feel very excited about, but the format of the presentation is still failing. And that really puts me off, I really want to play some of these games, like the ones that we're just telling you about, like Monster Hunter World and Silent Hill 2 and Path of Exile 2, and, the format is just inadequate. And I don't really, it doesn't make me feel like I want to play more. It makes me feel like I don't want to watch any more of their presentations, and that's a huge failure for the team that is presenting these titles to the world. And we've heard from the CEO, the vice president, that he wants to make sure that the exclusives remain, but make sure that if you are creating them and keeping them on PlayStation, you also produce proper showcase events, because for me, the actual format is grossly disappointing, right? It's still the same thing. Patch up a few of those trailers together, don't say anything to an audience, keep them in suspense. Well, it doesn't work like this anymore. People want to know a lot more in order to be brought in, and they'll have plenty of choice with other titles arising everywhere. Obviously, some of the big titles in here, some heavy hitters like Monster Hunter World, or obviously not been presented here yesterday, but Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Shadows will draw a huge amount of interest. People will purchase many of these games, but a mixed bag, really. That would be the bottom line. All right, so that's all about Sony's PlayStation event. And don't forget, as we are talking about all things Sony, we all have also, let me see, what's happening to my mic? All right, it's good, as it is. Right, so you also have at the moment, in view of this presentation, Days of Play, which kicked off 2 days ago. And there are lots of things that Days of Play offer. What I don't like about it, again, it's focused on monetizing. They talk about you collecting rewards, but these are the rewards you need to pay for. There's very few things which you pick up for free. You will get some avatars for free, and that's about it. Otherwise, it's all geared towards you entering games and playing them in order to be purchasing the titles which are discounted. And I don't like that. I think it is to a degree flawed, because these offers in any case are present throughout the year. You have always PlayStation and Microsoft Store discounts. And I was having a good look at this. I was very interested in what they're offering. So the avatars, about 9 of them I think it is, like Lara Croft and the other ones. You have also, what's his name? Suddenly I can't remember. The avatars are offered free of charge, right? And you can download them and you can have them on your system. You can pick them up already from May the 29th. You go to your PS5 console, you need to scan the QR code, and then you can download. But then the other things which you're getting is, like, they're offering June monthly games, and in any case you're getting them on PlayStation, right? PlayStation Plus gives you like 3 or 4 games per month. So I'm not sure as to why this is included. And I have to say the titles offered are not particularly good. I mean, they're very disappointing. So you have SpongeBob SquarePants, The Cosmic Shake, AEW Fight Forever, and Streets of Rage. I mean, you know, compared to some of the other titles we would get in the past, it seems to be like a very, very poor selection. And I'm not sure as to why they've gone downhill with the quality titles offered on the monthly freebies. Because in the past, this was one of the, the greatest possible elements of PlayStation Plus subscription, where you'd be getting things for free. So people would subscribe in order to get 3, heavyweights to come their way. And most of those were already older titles, but still they would be attracting people. For me, I can't understand as to why huge numbers of people would get streamlined to PS Plus in order to get freebies if such titles are offered. Anyway, that's just very funny. Then you have FC24, and that one is offered until June the 18th. So you can also download and redeem the game. I mean, it's a game that's been offered last month through PS Plus services, but you still have extra 2 weeks to do that. So make sure you do that, and you are going to be keeping it in your library forever. And then you also have Roblox Pack, which is including an avatar for Felix Freezebeard, the Yeti. So that's also free of charge. So that's quite good. In addition to these avatars, and then what isn't is bonus titles, and then classic catalog, PSVR 2, and game trial. So obviously, if you want to be doing the bonus catalog, bonuses to the game catalog, and then classics and all that, you'll have to be subscribing to PlayStation Plus streaming services, and they are quite expensive. And the option they're giving you is for you to subscribe during this period. And therefore you're getting the subscription with, 15-20% discount. So that's a possibility, but still it is making you spend. The games which they're offering, PSVR games, are Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, Walkabout Mini Golf, Synth Riders Before Your Eyes, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapters 1 and 2. Then PS2 catalogs, Classics catalog, I told you already about this, that's Tomb Raider, Legend, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Sly Cooper, and the Thievius Raccoonus. And then you have some game catalog editions. But you see, they're saying like this is Days of Play, but that's happening in any case every month. So it's nothing special. You would expect Days of Play to have something special. There's nothing special about this. It's all kind of inclusions that will come your way in any case. And I'm not really particularly in favor of that. I think this is not a good concept. And it doesn't make me want to jump in. You have like something special given to you. You want to step in straight away. You want to try it. You want to, like for instance, the games coming to Game Pass. To be fair, some games coming to the PlayStation Plus services as well. They offer Red Dead Redemption 2 on the streaming platform. I'll step in straight away to play it. But we are not having that degree of consistency, I think, with PlayStation when it comes to things offered. So for instance, they'll be offering Dredge, Lego Marvel Superheroes Cricket 24, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Definitive Edition. And they're all coming in to the extra and premium PlayStation Plus services. So they're not free of charge. You have to be paying in order to be playing. So again, you have one game offered, added to the game trials. And then they have a number. Well, basically what happens is they created on the app trying to think what they're called now. They're not called stars, but you're collecting points basically as you're doing certain activities. There's a whole big list of games you can be playing in order to get these points, and then you can redeem some of these points, and you can pick up certain items. And I have to say, the selection of these items is not particularly appealing. I would much prefer if the points could be used for the monthly subscription to the PlayStation Plus services. Then it would be worthwhile, Like on Xbox, you have Microsoft Points, which you have to grind for. You've got to be very consistent. But I'll give you an example. The new system they introduced during the last couple of months is giving you the opportunity to collect very many points. So, for instance, it's better than the old system. And I have my redeem set on automated. So because I've done it to be automated, I'm getting some discount on the number of points required. So I need to generate 10,000 Microsoft Game Points, Microsoft, what I call rewards points, in order to have a freebie for a month on their subscription services, the Game Pass Ultimate, notably. And, you know, in the course of this month, I was already able to generate roughly, what was it, about 5,000, 4,800 or so. So it means every second month, if I'm continuing with the same pace, I will be able to get that Ultimate subscription free of charge, which is of tremendous assistance to me, financially and in any other way. So it seems to be like a reward that is fully worthwhile compared to this one. And I'm not trying to be unnecessarily critical. I just want PlayStation services to be improved, to be better, because I love the console. I played so many games on PlayStation. You will know, well, I use PlayStation for my streams, right? So without PlayStation, I couldn't be streaming. And it's a console that I really love. And there are so many titles on PlayStation that I've been associated with over the years. But I just feel that they are missing the boat with the strategy, you know? This strategy with Days of Play, this is not the same. This is not as attractive as it should be. And it's not drawing the interest to, I don't think people reading this will say, oh, you know, why would I want to be doing all these Days of Play if I have to be paying for everything? So, you know, it's just something that somebody would need to be more seriously considering in the long term. And they say also that they're bringing in lots of Days of Play community challenges, so the guys can work together to unlock certain rewards, and it's called Stars. Yeah, it's PlayStation Stars. I couldn't remember earlier. They're not called points. And you will get a unique reward for participating. But when you look at the rewards, you need anything from 600-700 to about 2,000 or 3,000 of these stars, and they're a lengthy grind. They're hard to get, you know, and they will be based on how many things you have purchased. If you purchase something, you get more stars than otherwise, and you know that itself is, I guess, to a degree inadequate, the way I see it. And then also they have PlayStation Stars campaigns and esports tournament for PlayStation Plus members. So that will be for anyone who wants to play FC24. They have PlayStation offers. These are the offers on consoles and accessories as well as the games. You have some offers coming from retailers. You have some offers giving you like free access to Netflix if you purchase the console, and PlayStation Plus as well. You have a number of videos and films offered on 15% discount. And then you have PlayStation Gear Store. You have some stuff which you can purchase, like various accessories, you know, t-shirts and various other things. And then you also have PlayStation Store, and that is going to be at times with the 24-hour flash sales. I've seen actually yesterday they had Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the complete edition that costs otherwise £120, offered for £12. So I mean, that is a kind of offer that is definitely mouth-watering, and people would want to see many more of these. And you know, you can see they're just basically offered per day. Every day there is like a new offer. So let me see what's offered today. And let's see this. Yeah, loads of games really that they have here, but I'm just trying to find out whether there aren't any dates. And you know, basically the games listed here on the website are the games which are discounted, and specific titles within that period of 14 days will be offered a very significant 95%, 90% discount, and therefore you get them on the fraction of the cost. I have Valhalla, and the DLC is free of charge, and then I would get just a few other bits in there, so I didn't really go for this investment. Otherwise I would just, you know, step right in and take it on that price. Okay, so let me see. Let me just tell you a bit more about some other news, right? Which are in addition to what we talked about so far today. All about Sony is basically the news we are getting today on Twitter and other hubs. A lot of news related to Concord. Some people were really excited about the cinematic presentation of the game, but very disappointed after realizing that this is actually a game that will be like a deathmatch PvP. I have lots of postings on Concord on my Twitter, so you can see the cinematic, the trailer, and various other screenshots. And you know, when it progresses to this 5 versus 5, you just think, oh no, yet again. And it shouldn't feel like this, because the game's beautifully designed, and it really gives you, well, I mean, I'm just watching it as right now, and it just going to remind me of Apex. You know, when you're looking at the characters and how they're going, obviously they'll have different powers, they'll have different abilities, but still, it's a mixture of Overwatch and Apex and Rogue Squad and, you know, the other kind of Battle Royale type of deathmatch games. And I don't think it's going to sell if they carry on like this. That's my opinion, really. It just, I was surprised with such a negative response, but really, the level of disappointment experienced and described by so many gamers was the one I experienced yesterday. It was like a first big thing, and don't forget, Concord was indeed grabbing everyone's attention for more than 12-15 minutes. So it was literally occupying 1/3 of the presentation. Obviously, being the game that they want to bank on. So, but it will sell or not? Well, let's see. So this week, you're getting a new Game Pass perk. Anyone on Xbox Game Pass, you can claim it. It is basically Vault 33 Survival Pack. You get a whole lot of goodies in there. And it is both for console and PC. Make sure you claim it ASAP, right? I always do that every single time when they offer. And during the launch of Prime Video series, Fallout, I was able to pick up several. That was Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76 for free on separate platforms, right? So I had it for free on Xbox. I had it for free on Steam, and I think on Steam I picked up, what was it, Fallout 4, and then what was it? I can't remember. Also Fallout 3 came in. So anyway, make sure you claim your perks, and make sure you take up the opportunity to have various things like perks on offer for any of those titles. And it's been a debate today launched on PC Gamer about God of War Ragnarok, which will require a PSN account to play on PC. So again, a huge problem for anyone who wants to be just playing it independently. I have there all the trailers on display that were presented us yesterday with Astrobot, with Concord, with Silent Hill 2, and you know, different ones. And then I can see that our friend Hunter was telling us about Ballad of Antara. Well, I'll tell you about this game another time, not today, because today's all about the presentations. And also I have the Silent Hill 2 trailer on my Twitter. Have a look at it as well. And we have some news on Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma is receiving a brand new update now live on Xbox. And the biggest change there is that you are going to have a major item storage increase. So your inventory will be growing. You can store many more items. And then we have what else do we have? Well, not much really. It's all about Sony. I told you yesterday, I think, Redfall has finally given us the update, and we all worried that the update was going to be, I guess, wrapped up together with the studio as Microsoft decided to close Arcane, but they promised all the gamers that the update was indeed going to be coming our way, and that's happened during the last 24 hours. And there is quite a selection of changes applied, and that includes different types of bosses, more activities in the open world. We have some patches applied, the interactivity is different. But at the end of the day, I have been so disappointed with the game when it came out. I played it for several days on release, and I've not touched it ever since. So I wanted to see the update, like fully done and dusted, before I would just simply be revisiting, and I will do that because I think the game has huge potential. But when I played it first, I thought this was like Deathloop, but just in a much bigger, greater open world, and also delivered in a greater, sort of more ambitious frame. You know, it was just like a game that required a lot more input from the gamers, but very little was coming from the environment. And you know, it's a game that is to be played together with others in order to compete in the PvE environment, and that didn't work at all. So very curious to see, and just want to say to everyone, if you are one of the guys who purchased Redfall and you're not a member of the Ultimate, the update is up and running. So it's been launched about 24 hours ago, so it should be really fully installed on your platform, and you will be able to explore the game and, you know, provide us with some comments and views on whether the game is better, whether the update worked. I'm curious to hear, curious to see whether it would be giving us anything of benefit. The studio's still gone, so, you know, it's like literally finishing off whatever was seen as a leftover. And they say that Sony is calling Marvel's Spider-Man 2 a huge success. It's not sold as well as Spider-Man 1, but still very far away from Miles Morales, which appeared to be still very, very popular. In fact, I'm playing Miles Morales on PlayStation 5, and I got to say, I'm loving it. It's a very good game, and beautiful graphics, and very cinematic, and blending in so well, both with films as well as with the graphic novel. So, and also New York, so beautifully recreated. Probably one of the most beautiful recreations of New York that I've seen. That is in Miles Morales. It's just also framing and everything is second to none. Highly recommended. Played on PlayStation 5, of course. And so what else do we have here? Hogwarts Legacy gets photo mode, Harry Potter glasses, and unlocks the PS5 only quest in its big summer update. So if you're on PlayStation, make sure you try the game as the update is now up and running. And we also heard, that's just in still linked to yesterday's presentation, we had some people from the Monster Hunter team giving us like a small bulletin of news through their Twitter, and Jeff Keighley picked up this. He's the chief of Summer Games Festival and the Game Awards, and he said that they are giving us a few other ideas on what the game will be providing. So if you're interested, it's like a community message from series producer. He is Ryoso Tsunemoto, and then game director Yuya Tokuda. So just enter my Twitter and you'll get the information. It is there on that Monster Hunter posting. And yeah, needless to say, I'm very excited, and I certainly will be checking out whatever comes from the studio. I think that's all I have for you today. I don't really have any other news. Everything else that's come to my Twitter and everything that I've been publishing, posting today is one way or the other aligned with the presentation. But before I wrap up, I need to tell you that Ubisoft Forward, which is their big showcase presentation that they do once a year, like the biggest one, the annual one, but they have also some smaller presentations in the course of the year. It is going to be on June the 10th, and that will be at 9 p.m. Central European Time, 8 p.m. UK time, right? And that's 12 p.m. Pacific if you are in the US. So I'll repeat this again. Ubisoft Forward is going to give us a lot of information on the big titles that we're expecting. That's Assassin's Creed Shadows, that is Star Wars Outlaws, and what else? XDefiant. Well, that title's already out, but they'll tell us about seasons and everything else that is to follow. The presentation is coming our way on the 10th of June, and that will be at 12 p.m. Pacific if you're in the US, 9 p.m. If you are in Europe, and 8 p.m. if you're in Britain. So basically put this date in your diary, make sure you are there, and make sure you're watching it live. I'm very excited about Star Wars Outcast. I'm very, very curious to see how this game will square with the other titles. And that's it. That's all for today. Yet another lengthy news bulletin. We had a lot to talk about. There was lots of news emerging from that showcase. But then at the end of the day, it's a bit like sour grapes. Some interesting trailers, some great titles, but the presentation is just completely flawed. And really, honestly, Sony need to get their act together to present something in a much more advanced, more professional format, rather than giving us that collage of trailers, which really does not seem, well, it just literally belongs to some older years which have gone to oblivion. Right, So I hope you are going to be enjoying some of the titles. If you watch these trailers, if you watch the presentation, you can send me a message. You can provide us with a tweet right on Instagram or Discord or any other platform. Tell us what you think, how you found the presentation, whether you are going to be enjoying any of the titles, whether you're excited about any of those described. Most importantly, I want to hear what you feel about Concord, right? Because I was so disappointed that so many people around the world, obviously. So I wonder whether you were part of that group or whether you're just excited. You think it's going to be a fantastic PvP game. Indeed, if it turns out to be better than Apex, we are going to be truly delighted. But the presentation was wrong. The presentation was completely wrong. They should have not been doing that sort of thing, you know? Presentation should have been focused on the fact this is a PvP game, not giving us an idea that it will be like your next Guardian of the Galaxy. So, anyway, time to wrap up. So I want to say thank you for coming. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for supporting my channel, my news, and everything I do here. Thank you for supporting the gameplay, our community content, and most importantly, our charitable fundraiser for the Mind charity. And thank you for supporting the charity and everything they do. Just keep them coming. Make sure you donate, or indeed, if you're not in position to, just make sure that you are sharing the news, posting the links, liking, following, and telling your friends, colleagues, and you know, workmates, anyone who you know about the importance of the charity, what they do for us, and as to why the work they deliver, the work they provide, is fundamental in the process to which to save lives of those people whose independence had been shattered by mental illness. So thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. I shall wish you all a very good night, and I shall see you all soon. Hope you are going to be enjoying everything else that we have on offer. Enjoy the Hellblade games and enjoy all the other games I talked about. Make sure that you have a weekend full of interesting games and titles. You can download several offered through free play. And anyway, just tell us, really. Tell us whatever you're doing. Tell us whatever are the games you're playing at the moment, and share those views with our community. All right. Have a good night. Take care.